Oh, hey, Jesse. So one of the team members from Auto Center Drive is here. Finally arrived. He didn't.
I snuck in. So I'm curious, since this is sort of reflecting back to the last time you were at Filmforum in '97 or so.
Yeah, 97 or 98.
What about you and specifically your work do you feel like has changed over that last decade plus?
Whoa.
Like your interests or what you're trying to communicate?
I mean, what we looked at today, it's just a very, very small part. I did, as compared to '97, I did a lot of installation work, multi-channel installation work. This is maybe one, much more work in that was meant to be installed in the space. So, and with this, I think major changes are that, for example, like issues like gender, which is more important for me all in the beginning of the '90s, like the question of like in Magic Glass and Far Far Away with the Dorothy character, and then the other like alter ego of Dorothy turns like gets more male, and there is also like the more female Dorothy, the more male Dorothy, and then even in Auto Center Drive is a lot about masculinity, but this is something I think I worked myself through, and today I feel more free just to press any button that I already like have or installed. And one thing, the other thing is, yeah, there are very different episodes. I mean, I did when I did the oil thing, I went through all this show. I mean, American TV, like TV evangelists, and and then some of the work lately in the last years, I mean, with Deadly Storms, got more political. I mean, even with, I got kind of metal. I got when I showed it in New York, I got really attacked by someone who, I got some hate mail from Texas. Yeah, but yeah,
for what? Somebody really loved Bambi.
It was because of what is like we have this animal that says if you see something, that whole show was called "If You See Something, Say Something," and this animal, it was really hard to see what kind of. It's so beautiful. I was dying. I mean, because I was completely naked with hair on my. But the animal says like if you can say something nice, say nothing at all. And we had this character, and the whole show said like if you see something, say something. And I think that kind of made someone aggressive because of. It was at a time when I was also thinking a lot about this whole policy of fear, like that we live in a society of fear. So and that like a half year later, I did a piece in a whole different way. Like it was a 9-channel installation with appropriate sound from Fox News, which is a really different thing. So I would say like less personal in a way, but the metal is still very personal. It kind of connects to Auto Center Drive. It's a mix out of both, but some of the last ones are maybe less personal, more a critique on the media itself, like Deadly Storms and.
So it used to be more I Man, and now maybe it's more You Man.
Maybe. I am. Human killed Hyman.
In the back.
I felt like, I might be wrong, but your work seems vaguely interactive to me, or hypertextual and the video game aspect. I'm wondering if you have any influence from that. From the beginning of Auto-Center Drive, you introduce the characters almost like you're getting a video game.
Yeah.
And the rest of Audio-Center Drive is more cinematic.
Yeah.
Go kind of into the Meadow, it does actually seem very like hypertext, like it's just repeating kind of, you can choose different options. It's very interesting to me. I don't know if you had any video game
Yeah,
thoughts
but
about concept.
actually not so much. I have to say, I think I was before the video game generation. But of course, you look at things and you get really interested in that. I mean, the first, I think the video game I had was Pong. This like, but this has nothing to do. But I was really interested in this the question like choosing an identity and as a like we live in a society where we have the choice, or it's just the question about the choice, if you have a choice or if you don't have a choice. And we always think we have a choice because that's what we are told all the time. And I mean, in video games you choose your character, your personality, and your identity, and that's what you do in your real life as well, or you think you do it. And that is like the moment when Jimmy says man has a choice, man has a choice. And so that is like what makes us different from an animal. And but I don't think that we have a choice. I mean, or this is more like elementary question at that point. And but of course, I think there is space. I mean, and even with this repetition, when you say interactive, I really like this term interactive when like with watching the work, because there is so much space for yourself to work with and to reflect and to fill in things, and that's good. Then it works. I'm happy to hear that.
So it allows, I mean, so the audience in a way has a choice, but of course you're constructing your pieces, so it's like your characters don't have a choice. I mean, they're locked into certain lines, certain iconic moments from their histories,
Yeah,
and
they don't
your
have
work
a
is
choice.
depending upon, but your films are depending upon our identification or knowledge of this cultural past, or cultural, all cultural pasts are able to live in the present.
I mean, these characters, they're quite imprisoned, and that we're in the stage where they stay, and they cannot really escape from that. And that's another tragic thing where they and it's it is also part of our collective memory, all like what we. I mean, I was so amazed when we watched the Meadow, just like when we tested it for 10 seconds, and what's his name? The projectionist?
Robert.
He just said, "Oh, that's from the Haunting." Wow, because there's another hypertext. If you even sometimes if you don't know exactly where it comes from, you know. You heard it, or it's like a smell or something that you connect to your memory, and it's a media archaeology in a way.
Well, let's go back then. You said you start with your audio constructions.
Yeah.
And is it your audio constructions then, how do those originate? I mean, do you have like a general notion for what you wish to do and then start finding the audio? Do you hear pieces and say like, oh, that's interesting, I'm going to save it, and then slowly
Both.
build?
Actually, both. Sometimes there is a little like trigger moment when I listen to something, and then I start to listen to more and do research. And I was when I for instance the Meadow is when I after long time one night I decided to watch Bambi again.